5 Canadian teams open the playoffs. Now 5 days in, 2 Canadian teams, the Jets and the Leafs, up 2-0. 3 Canadian teams, the Oilers, Habs, and Sens, all down 2-0. We're going to play best shot, no shot with Martin Biron. Then we're going to ask you to join the conversation for your take on it. Marty, of Edmonton, Montreal, and Ottawa, who's got the best shot of coming back to win their series?
I'm going to say the Montreal Canadiens. Number one, they're going home to that crazy fan base, the energy at the Bell Center, and then Montreal is going to be awesome. But only that, in the first 2 games of this series, they were 1 shot away in both games from getting wins. Overtime in game 1, and really, Jake Evans has a wide open net in game 2 in the third period, puts it off the post. Like, that could have been the goal that would have given the Montreal Canadiens a chance to maybe take it to OT and get a second win if they would have been able to pull the first one through as well. So I'm looking at Montreal, and Samuel Montembeault is playing extremely well. Their forward lines of Suzuki, Caulfield, and Slavkovsky still have a little bit more to give. I think the power play has more to give. Right now, the power play for Montreal not really working right. They did get 1 goal in game 1, but they weren't able to capitalize on chances in game 2. And Logan Thompson with Washington's playing out of his mind right now. I think that's going to come back down to earth a little bit. So I'm giving the Montreal Canadiens the best shot to coming back down 2-0. And let's just look at it. The old cliche. It's not a series until you lose a game at home. It's not over. Montreal can definitely come back. Anybody can come back, but Montreal has the best shot right now.
Marty, speaking of more to give, St. Louis figured his best shot at tying the game against the Caps late last night was without Patrick Laine, desperately needing a goal to tie. Marty, St. Louis benched Laine for the entire third period. Was that the right thing to do?
It was the right thing to do because he had to go down to 9 or 10 forwards. And if you look at your 9 forwards, I can count them right now. It's Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Anderson, Dvorak, and Gallagher. This line has been good, and they got to keep going. And then you have to find out, okay, Armia is going to be in there. Evans is going to be there. Newhook is going to be there. So that puts, Demidov, who played a rotating shift, Laine and Heineman kind of on the side. And I don't mind that. I think that you have to get a feel for the game. And Marty St. Louis has great feel for the game. Despite the fact that Patrick Laine had some good looks offensively. He had a couple of really good shots, cut, Thompson high on the shoulder one time. But in the third period, it was a completely different game. And you needed to roll the guys that you believed could get you that goal. I didn't think Patrick Laine was one of them. Now, he could be one of those guys in game 3 or in game 4, but he wasn't one of those guys in the third period in game 2.
So you got the Habs with the best shot of coming back. At the other end of the scale between the Oilers and Sens, then, who's got no shot at coming back?
The Edmonton Oilers have no shots of coming back. And I know they have the 2 best players in the world, and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But even if those 2 combined for 5 goals, as they pretty much did in game 1, they're still not stopping the LA Kings from scoring goals. That defense without Matthias Ekholm has got big holes right now because they don't have a partner for Evan Bouchard that they can trust. Darnell Nurse has been there. It doesn't really work well. And your second and third pair have not been able to really get the job done. And if you don't have the group of 6 on defense to be able to compete, you need a goaltender that's going to bail you out. And right now, Stuart Skinner is definitely not bailing anybody out. And look, there's a really good conversation to be had here. Who do you start in game 3? And that is not the right place to be. At least in Montreal, it's Samuel Montembeault. In Ottawa, it's Linus Solmark. But in Edmonton, you don't even know who's going to be your goalie for game 3. So I look at it and I say there's no shot, despite having McDavid and Draisaitl. The Edmonton Oilers are full of holes defensively. That's how you win in the playoffs. And right now, they don't have a shot of coming back.
The Kings were the second best defensive team in the league during the regular season. The Oilers' offense was 11th. Kemper was the best goalie since January 1st. Skinner's 15th of 16 goalies in these playoffs. Did they ever have a shot at all? Is it just a matter of fact that the Oilers are just not good enough to skate with the Kings?
They had a shot if they would have won game 1, and they had a shot at winning game 1 and putting the Kings on notice. But as Drew Doughty said, man, I don't want to think about what it would have been feeling like if we had lost game 1. That was their shot. Having that slip away with the magic that Connor McDavid put together in the third period and putting it 5-5. and you're saying, okay, the Oilers are definitely going to win this in overtime. You can see it happening. Having that heartbreak in game one was their shot. And they didn't come through, and Danault scored late in the third, and you saw the effect of that in the second game. The LA Kings were much better defensively. They were much better as a team. They didn't turn the puck over. They controlled pace of play, and the Oilers had no response for it. So maybe coming home, you give a game to the Oilers. Maybe they go back to LA down 3-1. But, that's about as much as I give them. They may extend it to 5 games, 6 if they're lucky, but they're not coming back to win this one.
All right, so you're giving the Oilers no shot at coming back against the Kings. You think the Habs have got the best shot of coming back against the Caps. That leaves the Sens somewhere in the middle. What do you need to see from them moving forward to think they've got a shot at coming back against the Leafs?
Well, obviously they need to create more in front of Anthony Stolarz, and Stolarz is a big goaltender. He does a great job laterally, moving laterally, extending the pads, using his body. But they got to get in front of him. They got to get more screens, more shots with deflections and rebounds. The Ottawa Senators have not been able to get to second and third opportunities in front of Anthony Stolarz. Look, I love what Ridley Gregg did the other day. He says, I'm going to go right in front of Stolarz, and I'm going to park here. Stolarz decided to attack him, which was funny. Decided to punch him, slash him, tell him, get out of the way. But that got Stolarz a little amped up. That got him not in his comfort zone. I think that it has to be everybody. It has to be Brady Tkachuk. It has to be David Perron. It has to be Claude Giroux. It has to be Drake Patterson. It has to be Ridley Gregg. It has to be Gaudette. Everybody's got to go to the front of the net and park themselves there. That is how you're going to score goals against Anthony Stolarz. And then once the floodgates are open, now the skills can come through. I think that is the number one thing the Ottawa Senators have to do. And they obviously have to be able to manage the puck a little bit better. When you're in tight situations, you can't have a backhand blind pass to the middle of the ice and give the Toronto Maple Leafs and their skills that opportunity to go on counterattack. You have to manage the puck, but you have to get to the front of the net. That's the number one key for the Ottawa Senators.
All right, recapping, the Oilers, Habs, Sens all down 2-0 in their respective series. Marty says the Habs have got the best shot of coming back. The Sens have got a shot, but it's a stretch, and the Oilers, no shot. They might as well start booking their tee times. Time for you to join the conversation. What do you think? Who do you think's got the best shot versus no shot amongst the Habs, Oilers, and Sens?